All right. Hello, everybody. How you doing? Thank you for joining me. And Blackwood here, your Silicon Valley sage sister. And I want to talk about something that I was talking with a potential client about today, which was something that I've been talking myself through a bit in the last couple of months, and have really come to the realization of again. And it's funny because this for me is something that I always know in my heart, but allow myself to forget on a practical level sometimes. And it's one of the few things that, of the things that I do truly know, is something that I allow myself to forget, which is that it gets easier. It gets easier. Things are gonna seem hard at first, but they're not necessarily hard, or they're not as hard as we think. And sometimes they're not hard at all. We just think they're hard. It gets easier. I promise you, everything gets easier with practice, period. And if it's not getting easier with practice over a decent amount of time, then that's probably the universe's way of telling you that you need to be doing something differently, or you need to be doing something else. But in general, if you are on the right path, if you're on the right track, if you're doing the inspired action, it gets easier. And the more inspired it is, the easier and easier it gets. I see memes all the time when it comes to being a vibrational match for what you want, and how a lot of the times in the first stage of really awakening, people are losing their friends and kvetching or celebrating the fact that they have just leveled up so much that the people that they thought were their friends, they realize aren't the people they should be spending their time with for whatever reason. If they're realizing they were never really their friends to begin with, or they've just leveled up so much they've grown apart. I see memes about this all the time. And I went through this. I go through this more than I wish I did, where I am constantly seeking that next level of growth, and I leave people behind. So much so I had someone literally disappear out of my life. And you know, it wasn't just me. He didn't actually disappear from the world. I've mentioned this before. But I experience it more than I wish I did, where I am constantly moving up and moving on. Boundaries is another example where, like I said, they might not have been your friends to begin with at all, because now that you're asserting your boundary, you're setting up your boundaries, they're not down. And that doesn't mean that your boundaries are bad. That means that they weren't your friends to begin with. That means that they didn't respect you enough to respect what your boundaries are. So, hold on. Okay. Sorry, I got a notification that I needed to read. If you want to do something, if something's calling to you, don't wait until you think you're ready. If I had waited until I thought I was ready, I might not be here sitting doing this video right now. At one point, I thought what would make me ready to be where I am is a PhD. Not just the master's that I'm working towards, but a PhD. And then I came to realize that with everything that I've learned in life, and with all the schooling that I've already had, I am already more than capable of helping people. And then 5-6 years go by and I lose my part-time job, and I sit and thought to myself, I'm not going to let this get to me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let my private practice go from part-time to full-time. And then I sat down and I was like, okay, what is going online involve? What is going full-time and what is going online involve? And I came up with all of these silly things that I thought I needed that I didn't have. And maybe a couple of days, maybe a week went by and I was like, I don't need these things to be ready. I'm ready right now. I can use the phone that I have already to make videos. I don't need a better quality camera. And here I am, still making videos on this same phone. So, don't wait until you think you're ready. I mean, obviously, if you don't feel ready, that's one thing. But if you think you're ready, or if it seems like it's something you really should be doing, but you think there's just something little that's holding you back, try doing it without that. Like for me, I was like, oh, my phone is just not enough to me making quality videos, and they're supposed to be horizontal rather than vertical. I make videos. I've been making videos for the better part of the last 7 months. Just fine as vertical videos, and just fine with the phone that I have, with the tools that I have. So, don't let yourself get held back by these little things that you've decided create the realm of readiness. Sorry, one more second. So yeah, that's what I have to say. I hope that this finds you all well. You are ready. And if you're not, that'll be apparent too. If you're ready, that'll be really obvious. I knew I was ready. I just thought there were these little things. If I truly hadn't been ready. And don't let nervousness, don't let a lack of practice. There are some times where I stop and say to myself, oh, well, I need more practice. Well, how do you get more practice? Doing it. You can't get practice without doing the thing. So I see a lot of people in the business courses that I was in being like, how do you get used to being on video? You go out and you be on video. However that may be. I would practice by doing several takes even before I could just bang out one of these one-time videos without multiple takes. There are some times where I still do multiple takes just because I didn't end up getting something in that I wanted to, or something accidentally happened that messed it up. Like, there is no time like the present to just go for it. Just go for it. If you are the only thing standing in your way, go for it. All right, guys, I'm going to get to sleep because I have some early appointments with clients and potential clients tomorrow. I love you all. Let's keep making our way through, and may the energy you serve you well.